I shoved 3 scalding hot French fries into my mouth, knowing full well that they just came out the oven. I had sat down to stitch the letters SLOWDOWN to the inside wrist of my favorite black hoodie, and then it creeps up. See, it's not working. Do you really think the affirmation, the cards, and the cues are going to change the way that your thoughts are moving in your dome, dude? Ping-ponging so Q-U-I-C-K, the inner critic is starting to guide your way. And if you allow that to be the case, then the art will never be made. And I make art to remind others that sometimes it's your shadow. You can't be treating that like it's your side hoe. We have to integrate the whole. The light, the dark, the yes, the no. Duality exists all around us, so I practice. Needle comes up, needle comes down. Needle comes up, needle comes down, until eventually the thoughts start to reroute. Poem.
Right.
This other one I wrote the other day. Sometimes I find myself writing about relationships that don't always work, or things in relationships that don't work. So I was writing in relation to what I would like to invite into my space. It's called Shh. In a world of constant stimulation, I've been craving a different type of sensation. A lover I can sit next to in stillness, not saying a word, because the comfortable silence is actually what makes me feel heard. There's no need to disturb the peace with all of this mindless chatter, as if there's some kind of imaginary ladder that we have to climb to prove our worth. Being in each other's presence is actually what gives birth to love. And its many definitions, shape-shifting and twisting. Don't go around missing an old version of me. I'm an evolving being. But I want them there for the in-between, the beginning, the climax, and the end scene. I want to lie between their arms, knowing that they're not going to cause any harm, and help to quiet the alarm going off in my head. Of course, we can shed the garments that create distance between us, reminding each other that there's no need to rush. See, I'm on a mission for a lover who understands parallel dimensions. There's no need for enmeshment to prove our connection. Everybody else can question. It's something that only we know. We choose a direction in which our love grows. But the trunks, the roots, they stand firm in the ground below, love finding its own natural flow. Others share their ideals of what they think that our roles should be, but those opinions and comparisons are what derail me from my real vision. You see, I see me and you sitting alone in a quiet room, free of distractions, and for just a fraction of time, everything feels all right. Poem.
All right.
And then this last one I wrote last month. I went to an open mic that was in honor of Women's History Month, and immediately I just related that to my relationship to my body. So this poem is called Body. I found true liberation when I embodied that my body is not my enemy. My purpose in life is not merely to be seen, despite the messages being fed through the screen. Quick fixes, diets, and exercise regimes. From such a young age, I really started to believe my body was something to be consumed, to be critiqued. As if the perfect physique exists, I was missing out on bliss, so focused on dishing every blemish, every roll, and what I allowed on my dish. I fed hate from my brain to my limbs, and some days that was their only nutrition. This part of me is too slim, this part of me is too thick, all of these beauty tricks, they never seemed to stick, and it felt like I was burning off of 2 ends of a wick. Yet my light was starting to become so dim, because I was never going to win if I was looking for external validation. I found true liberation when I began to celebrate the natural fluctuation that my body experiences. I let go of the delirious belief that one version of me is better than the other, and I breathe in the spirit. Can you hear that cheering? My cells are so happy that I'm finally on their side. I no longer wish to deprive them of the nutrients that they need to stay alive, nor am I inviting in substances that put their work into overdrive. I discontinued my desire to contort and change my body into shapes that it was never meant to make. Pumping the brakes so I do not break. Permission to rest despite the restlessness. I do not need to be more. I do not need to be less. I now caress my skin with such a gentleness. Period. And she came back to visit after years of making myself sick, because it took a second to click, but my body is not my enemy. She's actually on my side, and she's a permanent home in which I am grateful to reside. Thank you, guys.
All right.